The plane that changed Qantas forever. The Boeing 747. No aircraft was a better match for an airline than the Boeing 747 and Qantas. The plane connected not only a continent with the world, but also a public consciousness with a big flying kangaroo. What is the story of the Boeing 747 and Qantas, and will this crisis be the end of a chapter? Qantas first ordered the Boeing 747 to replace its Boeing 707s in 1967, with the late delivery of 4 aircraft by 1971. The late delivery time allowed the airline to select the more suitable Boeing 747-200B variant. The aircraft was bigger than the 707s and could fly further, greatly increasing the profitability of the airline. Qantas would use these aircraft to fly to New Zealand and to Los Angeles, which at the time was only possible with a Boeing 747 due to ETOPS laws. The Boeing 747 long range was perfect for Qantas, who needed a powerful aircraft to fly passengers to and from the remote Australian continent. Qantas would then supplement this fleet of aircraft with 2 special long-range Boeing 747 SPs. With the retirement of its final 707 in 1979, Qantas was now an entirely 747 airline. Qantas would set 2 major records with the 747s, the first being the most passengers on a single aircraft, which it set in 1974. The carrier evacuated 673 passengers from Darwin when a cyclone hit the city. Qantas would also operate a non-stop London to Sydney flight with a 747, although it wasn't loaded with passengers. With the extra room afforded on board the aircraft, Qantas would also be the first airline in the world to launch business class, a nice step between first and economy. From here, Qantas would also order the Boeing 747-300 in 1985 and the famous 747-400 in 1989. These aircraft would be almost exclusively used on long-range routes to Europe, Asia, South America and North America until the introduction of the Airbus A380. Qantas would operate 65 747s over 40 years, taking delivery of 57 brand new 747s from Boeing itself and taking 3 747-400s off the hands of another airline, and even having to lease 5 aircraft to cover capacity. Last year, Qantas CEO Alan Joyce issued a statement about the Boeing 747. The Jumbo has been the backbone of Qantas International for more than 40 years. Each new version of the 747 allowed Qantas to fly further and improve what we offered passengers. However, due to the current crisis, Qantas has had to park its 747s around Australia with little hope of them returning to the skies, sans special flights or rescue flights. They're not yet officially retired, but many are acting as such. Interestingly, Qantas does technically still have 2 Boeing 747s. Qantas Cargo, the freight division of the airline, has leased 2 Boeing 747-8Fs from Atlas Air to operate its lucrative postal routes. With the curtains closing on this chapter, those who had a chance to fly on board the Qantas Queen of the Skies will know that they were part of something special. We might not have the 747s anymore, but their spirit flies on with Qantas's other aircraft. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the Simple Flying channel and be sure to click the notification bell.